Fistful of Skwarkis. The journey up the mountain. When I was little, I've noticed a couple of big trees up on a hill that, as far as I knew, could have been a mountain. It was way too far to even think about going there, but it was nice to look at. I'd wake up in the morning, and not having anything better to do, I'd look over yonder. After quite some time, when I became much older, 10 or so, I realized I could just possibly, maybe just go there. I prepared a small expedition and slowly begun my trek. Barely did I wander off that I discovered mice, bunnies, deer, and maybe even wild boar. I had my knives with me, as I was an avid collector. I brought my binoculars and a Russian Monocular to even get a closer look at things, just in case there was some interesting trouble. I had to bring provisions with me. My drink of choice was Kompot, a tart, old man's drink. Fruit juice. But it was powerful. And little sandwiches. And some pierogis, as Grandma wouldn't let me leave without food. It was an extreme adventure, especially for a little person. I also had bacon bits with me. They were called the skwarki. The walk took forever. Most of the day, it seemed. I had my first breakfast alone, and lunch, though I didn't know the word at the time, and 11sies, always, and a break at noon, and of course, I sipped my Kompot throughout. Often I would stop and sit at the side of the road, trying to figure out what I'm doing with my life, and how am I going to get to America. Right as I was getting close to what definitely looked like a mountain to me, it turned out I was right all those years. I discovered that there was a hidden river there. Like a castle moat, it stood between me and the mountain. I remembered that in desperation, I started walking by the river in search of a fallen tree or something, but then ended up madly jumping across a narrow spot, and not unlike a flying squirrel would, landing on my stomach with a thud that kicked up a handful of dust. On the other end, I discovered that I had to cross a wheat field. It was pretty scary, because anything could have been hiding there. I was told that if a wild boar attacked, I needed to climb a tree, but from where I was standing, the boar would be between me and the tree. Though I had a pointy stick with me, as far as first adventures go, you just don't know. When I made it to the trees, I immediately named them the Rainmakers, or the Strovce, and they quickly became my friends, and my first fortress of solitude. They kept me dry from the rain, provided plenty of sticks for miniature bonfires, and kept me company in my first big thoughts about the world. It was my original adventure, the one that showed me that I am unstoppable, and I can even jump rivers if necessary. All my earliest adventures were seriously mighty. I even started learning English from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and German from Roseanne on German TV. When I saw a person type commands into a Commodore 64 computer to start a game, I didn't even notice that the game started. Shortly thereafter, Informatica class teacher accused me of cheating and copying homework. But even my bullies knew I wrote the program myself. That failing grade was my best grade ever. I have measured the distance to my original adventure with modern tools just now, and both to and from added up together to come to a whopping 2.03 miles, or 3.26 kilometers. It was very far for me. Still is. And with all kinds of adventure gear, lots of food, and a large glass bottle of Kompot, and all manners of knives, and an angry pointy stick. Every great journey starts with that first defiant step forward. And maybe a bottle of Kompot, and some pierogies with Skwarkis.